Hi, friends. Josh Bertuccini with you, back in studio. It's time to hunker in the bunker. We got my great friend Nick Wright here from Herman's. And Nick, having you here is just a very special thing. So thank you for coming out. And
Josh, I'm glad to be here, man.
yeah, looking good and life is good. We got a big snowstorm coming, but that doesn't slow us down too much.
Doesn't stop anything here.
No, it does not. So one of the things I like to do here a lot is just kind of get to know some of the people behind Northwest Arkansas and some of the establishments we know. Folks know Herman's is one of my favorite places to eat and has been so for a very long time. And
We appreciate that.
well, thank you. And thank you for all the great food and the great memories. And Nick, let's talk about just your path a little bit. You're an Arkansas native and just a little bit of what got you to Northwest Arkansas and where you are now.
Ooh, I really can't tell you all what got me here, but I am here. Been here since 1996. Basically came to visit a friend. Came to hang out here for 3 weeks. And been here 27 years. Yeah, got a job at Herman's, do a temporary service.
Wow.
Yes, and
Wow.
and that story is off the charts. How I even got hired. It was
We need
crazy.
it. So temp service gets you in at Herman's?
Okay, so there's a guy named Junior Smith who played baseball for Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of this group called the Committee at Herman's. It's 4 guys: Raymond, Carl, Junior, Darrell. They've been going to Herman's since Herman's has been Herman's. No, they've always been going there. Raymond worked for the university, English. I think he ran the English department.
Mm-hmm.
Darrell worked for Jim Blair, who was Don Tyson's personal attorney. Uh, Carl worked at some plant, but he was a family man. And Junior had played baseball. Now he worked at Staff Mart. So Staff Mart, Herman was doing all their hiring through Staff Mart. So I go to Staff Mart when I first get up here to find a job. They send me to Superior Tire and Wheel. I didn't have steel toe boots on, so they sent me home. The next day he called me. He's like, I got another place for you to go. So he tells me Herman's Rib House. Gives me the address. So my buddy's taking me up there. He picks up a friend on the way up there named Paul Sally, who just met the guy. We ride up there. We pull in the parking lot, and I'm like, this can't be the place. It's like a crack house. So we go back to a payphone, and call Mr. Junior. I said, Mr. Smith, that can't be the place. That little white house. I said, like a crack house. He's like, Nick, just go back and go in. So we went back. I made them come in with me. We walk in.
This is your first time at Herman's?
First time. Walk in. No, Ricky walks in. My friend Ricky Lee, and then Paul walks in. I walk in behind him. And Bruce and PJ were running the place at the time. They were the owners at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They knew Paul Sally. They had worked together at Coy's Steakhouse across the street years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, and they had worked there for a couple of years together. And so they see each other and they hugging, reminiscing, get to talking. I mean,
They're pretty tight. They're
yes,
pretty tight.
it's 15, 20 minutes before they even know I'm there.
No introduction.
Yeah, they asked Paul, who's your friend? Oh, he's here for a job. Oh, and they was like, you're the guy we working now. I said, yes, I'm Nick. They was like, Paul, you know him? Oh yeah, I've known Nick his whole life. He's a hard worker. Good guy. He ain't known me an hour.
He just starts saying it.
And hired me on the spot.
Hired you on the spot.
Yeah, just on his recommendation.
That's a story. That's almost 30 years ago now.
Yes, and he still takes credit for all my success.
Of course he does, Nick. Of course he does. So you started working there. You've been there for almost 30 years. At what point did it dawn on you that maybe I'd like to own a place like this someday?
It really never dawned on me of owning Herman's. It just kind of happened.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
no, working there, worked for Bruce and PJ. They left, went to Rogers, started Mr. B Steakhouse. Benny Spears and Shelby Rogers bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up working for Benny and Shelby. Benny ended up passing away. God rest his soul. And Shelby got it, and I worked for Shelby. I was just running the place.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoying running the place. I never imagined that I would own it.
Yeah.
I mean, it never crossed my mind.
Yeah. That wasn't part of the long-term plan.
No,
Now.
No. Sometimes joking with me and my cousin might joke about, man, what if we own her? But it was never a real drink, never a real deal in my head. until one day Benny had passed away, and it was
Mm-hmm.
about almost a year after he had passed away. And I'm sitting in there with Don and Shelby, with Don Tyson
Yeah.
and Shelby. Shelby was Don's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she never wanted to own the restaurant. No, she enjoyed being part owner where she
Right.
took care of the books.
Right.
She just but she didn't have to have nothing to do with the day-to-day stuff.
I get it.
No, now she's the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not talking to Benny about day-to-day stuff. I'm talking to her
That's
about
a
day-to-day.
big change.
Yes, huge change. Now everything's on her. When first, no, all she had to do was make sure the money was right.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's having to make sure everything's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so
The timing was right.
well, it wasn't even about timing. It was just Benny's death
Okay.
thrusted all this on her. And Dunn saw that she wasn't happy with it.
Yeah.
But he sat her down one day and he said, "Baby, I want you to keep this restaurant as long as I'm alive." He said, "Don't worry, I'm behind you 100%." He said, "But when I die, you make sure Nick gets it."
Really?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there at the table,
Wow.
and my mouth hit the floor.
I'm gonna say you got chills when you hear that,
And
right? Yeah.
they keep talking, and Don turns to me. He's like, "Are you okay with that?" I didn't know what to say.
I'm speechless
I-
at this moment.
I was. And he says, "I think you're okay with that." And they went back to talking. And when Don got up and he walked away, and Shelby says, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Was he for real?"
Was he for real?
She said, "Yeah." She said, "We got to get you ready for this."
Wow.
So before I got it, I knew I was going to get it.
How long have you owned Herman's for now? You and your awesome wife, Carrie, one of the power couples of Northwest Arkansas.
2013.
Okay. So that's, a dozen years now. What's it like being a long-term owner of a place like Herman's with such a big reputation and high expectations
what's it
every
like?
day? Yeah, what's it like?
Work.
It is work.
Lots of work.
I believe
Owning
that.
a restaurant is not a job. It's a lifestyle, people. Don't think it's easy. Don't think because you see us doing it that you can do it. Everybody can't do it. If everybody could do it, there'd be a restaurant on every corner. No.
You make it look easy at times. It is clearly not.
It's, Josh, it is, in today's society, when I first started there with Bruce and PJ,
Mm-hmm.
it was much different.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was easier to find people to work. People wanted to work.
Yeah.
No, customers, everybody knew everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And now Fayetteville's grown. Now there's people coming from, there's so many people, it's hard to know everyone.
The small town feel has gone
Yes.
away a little bit.
Well, it still has a little bit of the feel, but it's not.
It's not.
There's a lot of people coming from Bentonville, West Fork,
Yeah.
Elkins. They're everywhere.
California, Chicago,
Oh,
Texas,
oh.
New York. You know that.
I'm just talking about people living here.
Right,
No,
right.
They're moving to these places.
Yep.
But yeah, there's people from everywhere. There's people from China, Asia, British. They're all in Northwest Arkansas.
You have to do a lot of things, you and Carrie. You're not just a master chef and obviously a business owner. You're a politician. We were talking about that a little bit before we started rolling.
No,
right?
I'm not a politician. I don't like talking politics. I don't like to get into that realm because it changes people's attitude. At my restaurant, I used to turn the news on TV during lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And after a couple of days of doing that, my wife said, "Don't turn the news on TV." And I'm like, "Why?" She said, "It changes the way people's mind works."
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
they see certain things and it makes them angry.
Yeah.
They don't tip.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to you.
The whole thing changes.
It causes problems between people at the same table.
Mm-hmm.
No, now you got, instead of a happy table talking about the Razorbacks or about a basketball game, they're doing this.
Yep.
They don't tip. They're angry.
So we're going to take that out.
She said, "No more.
No more.
No more CNN, no more Fox, none of that doing while we're open. If you want to watch it while we're closed, that's great. But no, I don't even watch the news anymore."
Just forget it.
Yeah, man.
Positive vibes.
The
only.
news, even the positive stuff, they could show much more interesting things than some of the stuff they show. but they show so much negative. I don't need that in my life.
Forget it.
I don't need it in
Sports,
my life.
though. You got sports on in there. We know that.
Always.
Always the Hogs. As big a Hog fan and supporter as
Either
you're going to
Hogs
find.
or golf. One
Or
of the two.
golf. He plays a little bit of golf. Just a little.
A little bit.
Your place is pretty famous beyond just the food. I do want to talk about the food in a second, but I mean, the checkered tablecloths, like you talked about, the small house, you get in there, it's just got this, kind of timeless feel to it. And HBO and True Detective realized that because they came in for season 3 a few years ago, and one of their first places they knew they had to film was at his establishment at Herman. So your place is a landmark now, is kind of where I'm going with that one.
I didn't make it a landmark. I'm just trying to keep it one.
There you go.
Herman.
There you go.
Herman did that.
Mm-hmm.
Herman laid the foundation for everything that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Who was this guy? Who was Herman?
Herman was a guy who was bigger than life. There was nothing Herman couldn't do and be good at. Ski, in a band.
Yeah.
No, cook.
Yeah.
No, Herman could do it all. Fight. Tell you, he was bigger than life.
He's a real person, though.
Yes.
Is he still alive?
No, he's passed away
not
now.
alive anymore.
But believe me, I've heard so many stories.
Yeah.
Guys feared Herman and wanted to be Herman. No, everybody respected Herman.
Yeah.
No, the only vice that I knew Herman had was he liked to drink too much.
Okay.
But Herman was a good guy.
Do people ever call you Herman?
Yes.
And what do you say when somebody calls you Herman?
It depends on what the context is. No, because some people, will somebody will say, "Oh, he owns Herman's," and they're like, "Oh, so you're Herman?" And I'm like,
Okay.
"Yes,
Okay.
yes, the restaurant, but my name is Nick."
Name is Nick.
Yes, but yeah, I've gone places and I'm in a room, and either somebody's talking about me, and then people walk up to me and say, "Are you Herman?" Like, I own Herman's, but my name's Nick. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
Your walls are historic. You got so many famous people. You got presidents. You got senators, governors, athletes, coaches,
Josh,
friends.
I've been blessed.
You have been, and deservedly so.
I've met so many people.
Yeah.
So many people who I admire. I mean, Scottie Pippen, Steve Atwater.
Yeah.
No, and these are
just a couple athletes. Hall of Famers, but
No, Herschel Walker, Tony Dorsett,
Wow.
Jay Novacek. No, my best friend is Wallace Spearman.
Yeah.
No, he was just in town a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
He just left out. No, working at Herman's, I've got to experience a whole lot of things and meet a whole lot of people that otherwise I wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm at the grill cooking, and the back door opens, and John Thompson and Oscar Robertson walks in the back door. And I'm just like,
What?
yeah, that's how it was. I was just like,
Oscar Roberts, the big O's in the house.
I finally get my bearings, and I reach my hand out to Oscar, and I said, "You're here?" He was like, "Yes, I'm Oscar Robertson."
Yes, I am.
I said, "What are you doing in Northwest Arkansas?" No, it wasn't my first time meeting John Thompson. I met him before, but them two together just kind of overwhelmed me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Big O, you're like, you averaged a triple-double in a season. He's like, I did.
Yes.
I did.
Believe me, I said it.
I love it, Nick.
His picture's on my wall. And he told me he was doing business with Allen Canning Company. So
Wow.
they used to be up there in Rogers.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in the food business.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Every time I put on a Razorback game, ESPN, SEC Network, they're always talking about you. They've always made sure they got some footage of you at the grill cooking. You're a rock star, Nick. Come on.
I just got good friends who work at these places. When they come in town, they want to come eat at Herman's, and we accommodate them. And I don't necessarily get to become friends with the actual people doing the commentating. I get to meet them, but I become friends with the cameraman, with the producers. Those are the people who are running the show.
That's the kind of guy you are, though. You treat everybody the same. You do.
Josh,
you do.
Have to.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm in the restaurant business, and I want to treat all my customers great.
Of course.
But there are levels of greatness.
Well said. Well said. What's your favorite thing to eat at Herman's?
My favorite
I
thing
really
to
wanted to
eat.
ask you that one.
I,
Do you have one favorite?
I don't eat it that much,
No.
but I think the best thing to eat at Herman's is the Dustin omelet.
I think so too.
No, and I can't eat it all the time because
It's so delicious.
no,
Order a Dustin omelet next time. See? Told
well
you.
I I truly don't like the Dustin. No, not because it's not the absolute most delicious thing. It kills. Okay, I got a customer who's been coming in since I've been there, and he's been ordering a 10-ounce filet every time he comes in.
Same thing every time.
And finally, I convinced him to try the Dustin. And now he never orders a 10-ounce filet anymore.
He got his new thing.
Yes.
Shrimp, steak,
Peppers,
egg,
onions,
cheese.
remoulade
Oh, it
sauce.
is so good. The remoulade in there. The remoulade at Herman's
Well,
is outrageous.
I don't know if I should say this sitting here, but I had a lady sit at the bar one time and convinced her to try the Dustin. And she took her first bite, and the look on her face was just. And when she finally swallowed it, she chewed it up, she swallowed it. And I said, "How was that?" And I kid you not, this lady said, "It's like an orgasm in my mouth."
That's exactly what it is.
I went, "Oh,
Oh,
wow.
lady.
Wow."
Okay.
That's,
It lives up to our namesake friend who gave it the spicy Dustin omelet nickname.
D-Money.
D-Money forever. So that's one of your favorite things to eat. For real, I love that answer.
Yes.
And if you're a newbie coming through the first time, you never tried the ribs at Herman's before, I still think they're the greatest ribs in the history of the universe.
The ribs.
Oh, my
The
goodness.
shrimp remoulade.
Yes.
The garlic shrimp. The
The
Fosse.
tomatoes.
The Fosse shrimp is one of my biggest sellers.
Now, that's Maria's
Yeah, Maria Fosse.
incarnation. Let's
Yes.
hear about that one here, Nick.
Well, we already had it was already called the garlic shrimp on the menu. And every time Maria come in, she would get it, she would get it, she would get it. And when she won a national championship, I needed a dish with her name on it.
Of course you did.
And so her favorite dish there was the shrimp, so it became the Fosse shrimp instead of garlic shrimp.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But now we have Coach's dishes.
Cal's on the menu, right?
Cal's on the menu. Coach Shauna Estes is on the menu. Coach Van Horn's on the menu. Coach Pittman's on the menu. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the rest of them too. I just hadn't got in touch with Brad because I got to get the golf coach on there.
Yeah.
I want to get the softball coach on there.
Yeah. Courtney?
Oh, yeah. I think Courtney's team this year is going to be really good.
I think so too, Nick.
Yeah.
I
I got people calling me already trying to get OU Arkansas softball tickets.
yeah, that'll be huge. We talked about so much stuff. I feel like we haven't gotten to the sports thing, but Nick is one of my biggest diehard sports fan friends. You're probably as big a Razorback supporter as I know. Has it been like that your whole life, or as you've gotten to know some of these luminaries, it's kind of picked up a little bit?
I've always been a Razorback fan.
Okay.
When I started at Herman's, Bruce, guy who owned guy who was running it, he was cook at the time, huge Razorback fan. I mean, kept up with recruiting. If it's in the newspaper, he's read it. If it's on TV, he's seen it.
All over it.
He was all over it all the time. He turned me into the fan I am today. No, I'm probably living his dream. No, he dreamed of hanging out with coaches, going to practice.
Yeah.
No, the things I'm getting to do are the things that even when he left. No, because without him, I wouldn't be who I am because he taught me everything I know.
Mm-hmm.
All about sausage seasons, cutting meat, cooking.
Oh, yeah.
He taught me all that.
Yeah.
He is the reason I am Nick from Herman's.
Yeah.
So
He was an even bigger Hog fan than you, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Even when I got a 94 championship basketball that's signed by all the players. And I got that because of him. Because he bought two when they won the national championship.
He gave you one?
Well, first, he had the two balls, but they were signed by the players. Didn't have the coaches on them. So, he knew I knew Coach A, good friend. He knew I knew Nolan. He called me one day. He was like, "Nick, I need a favor." I said, "What?" He said, "I need to get the coaches' signatures on my basketballs." I said, "I'm pretty sure I can do that." He said, "I got two of them." I said, "Okay." He said, if you do this for me, I'm going to give one of them to you. I said, you ain't got to do that. He was like, but I want to. I said, okay. So I called Coach A. I said, Coach A, I said, I need to get everybody who's on the staff's signature on this basketball when y'all won the national championship. He said, I can make that happen. And so, no, I told him the whole story that he was going to give me one of them, and I did. And once I got to know everybody, football, basketball, so I started calling Bruce when days when he went off. I was taking him to practice.
Huh.
No, I wanted him to enjoy some of what I had because without him, I wouldn't have it.
Yeah, yeah. I love that you say, I'm not the biggest Razorback fan, but you're pretty diehard.
What?
How about a thought of just the Razorbacks, Nick? Because you helped teach me 15 years ago about how much they mean to people around here.
What? There's the fan, and then there's the business fan.
Mm-hmm.
No, the fan is just the people who go to games and criticize and watch and do that. Then you got the person who's a fan and also owns a business where the Razorbacks generate most of their revenue. So that's a different kind of fan.
Yes.
No, my establishment thrives when they thrive.
Yes.
No, gymnastics, soccer, baseball, softball, basketball, football.
When they're
winning, everybody. No, don't get me wrong. Football and basketball, baseball generate the most.
Yeah.
But we get something from everything. Somebody's walking in with an LSU on or a Texas on, with some from somewhere else, and somebody from the Razorbacks sent them.
Mm-hmm.
No, the university is the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
In Fayetteville.
Well, we're right here near the epicenter. You know what I mean? So
for me, being a fan,
it's bigger than that.
Yes,
it's bigger than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up down in Marvel, Arkansas, down in the Delta. Grew up listening to Paul Eels. No.
Touchdown, Arkansas. Oh my! My first interview in Arkansas.
That gave me goosebumps when you said that because I just saw the video so many times.
I've only met him once, but yeah, he was a great guy. He was a great guy.
I gotta come. Remember I was telling you earlier about that?
I saw you when
yeah, it just happened.
I wish I had the soundbite to play right
now.
So,
first time Paul Eels comes into Herman's when I'm running Herman's. He walks in the door. Benny's still alive at the time. He walks in the door and I'm like, Benny. I said, that's Paul Eels.
That's the man.
He said, I know, Nick. He was like, you don't understand. I grew up watching him on the news, listening to him on the radio. I said,
he was the guy. He's the guy.
I said, do you think I could take a menu and ask him for his autograph? He said, Nick, I don't care. You do whatever you like.
I don't care.
He ain't never seen me act like this.
Right.
So I feed him. They're done. I take a menu over there and I said, Mr. Eels? He was like, yeah, Nick. No, he called my name.
He said your name?
He said my name. He stood up. He was like, what can I do for you? I was like, could you please sign this menu for me? I'm like, I'm your biggest fan. I've been watching you. I'm just going on and on. And finally, he was like, yeah, I can do that for you. He was like, can you do something for me? I said, what? He said, you got another one of those? I said, yeah. He said, go get it. I didn't go get it. I had one of the waitress bring me one.
Yeah.
And I said, what's this for? He said, you're going to sign it for me. I said, why am I signing it for you?
He signed it for me?
Yeah. He said, well, you're Nick.
You're Nick Wright at Herman's.
You cooked my food. He was like, and it was delicious. He was like, I want to remember this day.
He literally asked you for an autograph right back.
Yes.
What a guy.
Still got it in the frame.
Yeah?
Still got it.
You still got your basketball with all those signatures?
For sure.
That ain't the one right there in the restaurant.
No. This one's in the man cave.
Oh, okay.
This one's in the man cave.
Yeah.
Yes, I've gotten signatures from I don't know how. I had 2 Heisman winners in there in 1 week one time. I had Sam Bradford in and had Gino Toretta in.
I forgot you and Sam are pretty tight. I forgot about that.
Sam's just a great guy.
Yeah.
It's not like me and Sam are tight. He's just a great guy.
And he was dating a gal from here. That was part of that.
He married a girl from North Arkansas.
So it wasn't just your food.
No.
It wasn't just your
food. He was, Emma Levy played for the Razorbacks.
Okay.
And they met, got married. Me and her dad plays golf together.
Wow.
And he he brings Sam down. But
What a couple, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
when I tell you, Sam Bradford is if you think I'm here, Sam Bradford is up there.
You think that highly of this guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
he
Wow.
is. He's a family man. I mean, family man. He came into my restaurant. He didn't know me. No,
Really?
He knew his wife and his wife's dad and me were friends.
Mm-hmm.
But came up there, took pictures with me, talked to me. No, told me. I was telling him about my accountant who's an huge OU fan.
Yeah.
Got these balls signed by all the Heisman Trophy winners
Yeah.
from OU.
Yeah.
He didn't have Sam's. He didn't have Sam's autograph. So I was telling him about it. He said, well, next time I come down, I'll give you the heads up. You think you can get him over here? I said, of course. He would hop in this vehicle and drive as soon as I called him. So we exchanged phone numbers.
That's crazy.
I'm like, shit, he's not going to call me.
You ever golf with him?
Not
I'm
yet.
jumping you.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I said, he's not going to call me. A couple weeks later, phone rings, looked down and said, Sam Bradford. I said, Sam, what's going on? He said, I'll be over there tomorrow.
For real.
He said, can you get your guy over? I said, yeah. So I called Mr. White. He comes over. Sam then walk in. He takes pictures with him, signs his ball. I'm like, man, this is good. So he's playing in the league. I'm watching his games. After the game, I'm texting him, great game, or man, that was close, or whatever. Boop, right back.
Right back.
I'm like, wow.
That says something.
Yeah, he's that kind of a guy.
He's present. He's with you, right? He's always. Man, you meet people like that all the time. It must just almost become like normal to you when you meet people like that at this point. You know what I mean? You met so many famous
and I
cool
hate
people.
you say that because
Kind of.
it kind of.
But in a good way.
In
a good way.
I went through a spell where I kind of took things for granted.
Yeah.
And I had to reevaluate.
Yeah.
And I had to let the kid come out of me again. I got so caught up in work and stuff to where you have to put the kid in the closet. Because I got to always be the adult because everybody in here is looking up to me.
Put the kid in the closet. I like that.
Well, I got all these people working for me. I don't let them see that side of me.
Right. Right.
But
you've refound your joy and your swagger. Well, you're a grandpop. You're a proud grandpop.
Yes.
Mr. King. You'll look back on this many years from now. But they were talking about me. But you love being a granddad.
Yes.
And you're an awesome grandfather. And you talk about your grandson all the time.
I wish I saw him all the time.
That's how I know you're a great grandfather. That you say that.
The way he looks at you, it's just like you like butter, man. He just melts you.
As we start to wrap this up, what's your favorite, real quick, we'll do a couple, ready?
Okay.
What's your favorite sport? If you had to pick one, Nick. To watch and to play. I think I know the answers here, but to watch and to play.
Golf. And before I started playing, women basketball, hands down. Hands down. I used to love to play basketball.
Well, when we talk basketball, I can tell you're a hoops guy because you just start waxing.
I had to stop playing when we bought the restaurant because I couldn't afford to get hurt.
True. That makes sense.
That's the first thing White said because my ankle was always tweaked or my wrist because I banged.
So you used to ball a lot.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. I used to play with Corey.
I could see that.
Man,
well, you're a big guy. I don't think I'd want to bang with you down low too much.
The best compliment I've ever gotten was someone asked me after we played a pickup game. We were in Springdale.
Mm-hmm.
The guy walked to me and said, "Where'd you play college ball at?"
Ooh.
I went,
"Thank you. Thank you." Your golf game is good. You work at it. You love playing.
I'm not gonna say it's good.
You love playing.
It's average. No, I could be better if I had more time, but I love to play.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my buddies, we have a great time. We're competitive.
Yep.
And we love playing nice courses.
You just roll through.
Yeah.
You have a favorite one around here? You like them all?
Oh, around here?
We've played Stonebridge together a couple times.
I played Stonebridge a lot.
Yeah.
No,
it's a beautiful one.
Around here, it's always a privilege to get to go play the Blessings. No, don't get me wrong. It's hard for an average golfer.
Yeah.
But I still love being out there because it makes me. It's a happy place.
Yeah. What's a special place?
It's a beautiful. John Tyson built a spectacular golf course, but
You ever golf with him on his course?
No.
No?
One time I thought I was, and I was so nervous. I was, me and his dad were actually friends.
Yeah.
No, I consider him, I don't know. I think he considers me a friend, but I have so much respect for him to where he makes me nervous.
That's a real thing to say.
I mean, when he comes around,
You make me a little nervous, just so you know. You make me a little nervous.
He has his presence to where you just
respect.
Yes, no. I want to. When his mouth opens, I'm listening. No. When he's moving, what is he doing?
Right.
No.
You're a very perceptive guy. You pay attention to that stuff.
He's big. No. I don't know.
What about Cal or Nolan? Did those guys make you at all nervous ever? Because you and Nolan Richardson are really close.
Nolan, not at all.
No, never? At first when you got to know?
Oh, at first?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, when you first meet these people, okay.
Larger than life.
Okay, I got a story for you. So, Coach A is the one who kind of introduced me to Nolan. No, yes, Nolan had come in the restaurant before I actually got to know Nolan.
Okay.
But
Mike Anderson was the one who you knew really well.
When I became good, me and Mike are like this. So when I got to know Mike, Mike made sure I got to know Nolan.
Yeah.
So introduced me to Nolan, brought him down, played some golf with him. But he was still Nolan Richardson. Mike was my friend. Nolan was Nolan Richardson.
Yeah.
So there was one day I'm at the restaurant and Coach Richardson calls on the house phone. And Carrie says, Coach Richardson on the phone for you. I'm like, he's on the phone for me? I said, really? I said, okay. I said, what's going on, Coach? What can I do for you? He said, well, Nick, I'm having a golf tournament. He was like, I said, what you need me to cater it? What do you want me to do? He said, I want you to play in it. I said, well, how much are the teams? He was like, I don't want you to sponsor a team. He said, I want you to play with me.
Yeah. Play with you.
And I went silent. And Carrie said, what's wrong? I said, you're calling me to play with you in your golf tournament? He says, yeah. He says, you're my friend, right?
You're like, he's just calling me his friend?
Yeah. And Josh, no shit. No, I get this look on my face, and my wife knows it. She grabs my hand. She says, calm down.
Calm down.
No, because I'm about to tear up.
You're like, of course. That's how much that means to you.
And I said, Coach, did you just say I was your friend? He was like, yeah.
Yeah.
He said, why wouldn't you be my friend? He says, Nick, when I go places and I'm talking to people and I tell them I know you, their faces light up.
It's true.
He was like, why wouldn't I want to be your friend? I said, Coach, that's about the nicest thing anyone could ever say. Even me telling the story.
Yeah, I can tell. Well, look, he knows you got his back. He knows you're a genuine person.
First thing I did when I got off the phone, I had to call my mom.
She said, Mom, guess what just happened?
And I did. And her response was,
It's 40 minutes of hell. I don't want to pry too much on Nolan because you guys are tight, but how is he doing? I know he lost his wife back before the holidays.
He's doing good. He's spending time with family. He has his grandson and his great-grandkids over there. Rose was his life.
Yeah.
He loved Rose.
Yeah.
Took care of her for years.
Yeah.
Now, he is trying his best to spend time with the rest of his family.
Mm-hmm.
No, because Coach is an old guy.
Yeah, he's in his 80s right
yes.
now. Yeah.
No, but he's living. He's going places. He's doing things. He's Coach Richardson.
Yeah. He still gets out and golfs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Not while it's cold.
No, it's cold.
Well, been talking to some people, talking about putting a little putting green out at his house. I don't know when summer gets here.
You do something.
I'll really know, because then I'll start calling him. Coach, when you going to the golf course?
Mm-hmm.
Coach, because Coach A calls me all the time. Mm-hmm. Have you talked to Coach? Mm-hmm. Have you called Coach? If you come to the restaurant, right there, doorway, right beside me. There's a post note up there. Well, it's not a post note, but one of them postcard type
Yeah.
things. And on it says Coach. It's to remind me to call Coach every week. Make sure he's eating. Make sure, Coach Anderson made me do that before he left.
This guy.
Well, Coach Anderson used to do that. And when Coach moved, went to St. John's, no, he made me promise to do it.
It's the kind of guy you are, Nick. It's the kind of guy you are. You find time for people. Even jokers like me, you find time.
Yeah.
You say, this guy says he's going to be somewhere. You better be ready. You don't tell him twice.
I do.
He's there.
What I can. And Coach Cal, people always say,
You guys seem like you're striking up a pretty nice friendship.
I'm just trying to be a part of the program.
There you go.
No, I go to practice. They allow me to go to practice.
That's awesome.
No,
That's awesome.
they eat my food. And the biggest compliment to me is when I go and the dietitian or one of the players, they say, man, we're glad to see you. No, we don't need to come up here unless you're here.
Right?
And I know the last meal I did for them, I really went out on a limb because I did some things that I would never do for them. No, I just switched it up. No, I did some steak tips and gravy with rice, took the usual stuff, some ribs, some wings, some tenders, because there's a lot of guys who don't eat the pork and beef. And I did the traditional macaroni. I took collard greens and cornbread. And they look.
That's awesome.
The dietitian asked one kid, "Are you really going to eat those greens?" And his response was, "Well, if Nick cooked them, I'm going to try them." I went. She looked at me and she was like, "They only do that for you."
They only do that for you.
And that made me feel so good. I mean, the when we do the football, we were up there, got everything set up, and they go off the elevator, and they see us, and they start cheering.
All right.
That just makes me feel. You're
a gifted chef. You know that.
Well, it's. I don't think I'm a chef. I'm just a cook.
Okay.
I'm just a cook.
We have this chat.
I just
all
cook.
the time.
I just cook what I like to eat and how I like for it to taste.
And yet you told me most nights you don't even get to have food because you're cooking and working and you'll grab some food where you can. I'm not trying to rat him out, but he's like, you think I'm eating in style every night? No, I'm working.
I'm eating as I go.
I'm eating as I go.
Eating as I go. Making sure the things I'm cooking for everyone else taste good.
Yeah. Well, you're one of the best people I know. You're a good guy. You've been a long time, really good friend to me and my family.
Josh, you're a good guy.
Okay. Now, I've known this guy since Megan and I were just married, since before I had kids, and you and your wife have always been
I've been criticizing him forever.
He has. Whenever I get a little too East Coast, he's like, remember where you are, son. But you're so nice to come over today, and you're one of my greatest friends, and I appreciate your support and your friendship and whatever I can ever do to tell people about Herman's, it's nothing off my back. I love y'all, okay? Very much.
We love you guys too, Josh.
Yes, thank you, Nick.
Not just you. We love your whole family.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
The great Nick Wright from Herman's. We'll do more of this, and we got to get out and do some more stuff at your spot here too, okay, real soon? Nick, you have a great day.
Josh, I am.
And don't let that snow slow you down, okay?
I won't.
Herman's going to keep rolling. We'll talk to y'all real soon.